Okay, guys, Saturday is over, and I did what I was supposed to do on Saturday. I don't know what color I've picked. I need to I need to highlight it to see. Okay, today is Sunday, and these are the things that we're doing. First of all, hi. My name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. It is the second week in April, and we have some reading to do. If you haven't been here before, my plan for the month, let me scroll. These books down here are the ones that I need to read. Let me mark off the 4 that I have finished so far. So I am on number 5. Actually, it might be easier for me also if I just remove the color and then I can see exactly where I am. Okay, so I'm on book number 5. That also means that I have read 3 of the longest books on my TBR because I have them arranged, longest to shortest, minus this novella that we had to read as part of a series. Okay, I am reading these and I need to average 300 pages a day on my audiobooks and 63 pages a day in my physical books. So up here at the top for today, I'm going to make it the green color that I love. And I'm finishing Into the Drowning Deep, which I've actually already done. I need to be on page 194 of Gate of Kagoshima, which I am already on page 210 because I read extra yesterday because this is such a good story. And I have to be on page 269 of Beartown, and I haven't started. So that is the focus of today. The rest of today is Beartown. Now, if I'm going to be on 269 today of Beartown, that means that tomorrow I will finish Beartown and start The Beloved. So we should, if I roughly do the math, we should get through 4 more books this week, possibly into our 5th book. Oh, it'll be more than that, actually. So if I'm reading 300 pages a day, I need to get out my trusty calculator because 300 pages a day is going to be 2,100 pages for the week. So if I have Beartown plus the J.R. Ward book, well, what's it called? The Beloved, plus A Red Herring Without Mustard, plus The Spell Shop, plus An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, plus The Maid's Secret. That is it. So I'm going to be somewhere in The Maid's Secret when this week is over. So let's just see how it goes and if that math is correct. That's what we end up with. And then for my, I need to actually take this one off because this is already been read. This is where my physical books start. So I'm reading The Gate to Kagoshima now, and I will finish it. I won't finish it tomorrow. So tomorrow I will read to like 240 something, 250 something. So that means I'll finish it on Tuesday and start Sympathy for the Devil. What I may do is I may try to finish Gate to Kagoshima early so that I can start Sympathy for the Devil, but I have a plan because of down here at the very bottom, it says Witch Hat Atelier. Volume 1 is 200 pages. So what my plan is like, let's say Sympathy for the Devil, it's only 248 pages, but let's say that I can only read 40 of my 60 pages in one day. I'm going to pick up Witch Hat and read 20 of those pages to make up for the 63. And that way it'll actually be some manga pages in the middle of, words on every pages. I hope that makes sense because then that'll get my 63 pages in, but it won't all be 63 pages of words. So I hope that makes sense. That's kind of my plan if I start getting messed up on any of these. But I have Sympathy for the Devil and then River of Thieves and Ryan or Rian. I don't know how you say that, but those are the only 3 books that I have left. Physical, read with my eyes books. And River of Thieves and Ryan are both Kindle reads, and I can read much better on my Kindle at night in bed than I can a physical book because then when we turn the lights out, I can't see anything. And I don't like reading by little lights. It still makes my eyes hurt. So it's harder for me to read at night without using my Kindle. All right. So none of that matters though, because this is where we are today. And I've already finished Drowning and I've already done my reading for Gate of Kagoshima. It's just Beartown today. And I don't have anything else to do for the next hour or so. So I'm going to start listening to Beartown. and just, I don't know. I'm making a members only video about it because it is a members pick. And so I'm going to be chatting with them about it while I read it. But that's all that's happening today. So I will check in with y'all probably tonight before I go to bed, or at least when I finish what I'm supposed to read for Beartown, I'll check in as well. Y'all, first of all, I had my hair down. I was about to go upstairs and go to bed. And then I was like, oh, no, wait, I have to leave a video for everybody. And so I tried to just throw my hair up in this thing. And this is what it looks like. Anyway, things today. I told y'all this morning that I read this book, some of it. And so I didn't have to read any of it today. But I did read a little bit of it today just to get a little bit ahead for tomorrow. And so this is what I have to read tomorrow. I'm on page 236, chapter 21, and I only have to read chapters 21 and 22, and then I'll be where I need to be for tomorrow as well. So I'm going to read that tomorrow. I do have to work at the library, but I don't go in until in the afternoon. So I will be taking this back to the library, and hopefully they have Beartown. Now, here's what I decided to do about Beartown. I was talking about this in the video for the members earlier, but at some point today, I need to read 200 pages. No, 300 pages. And I was going to read 200, I'm looking at my plan, 269 pages in Beartown, which meant that I was going to listen to 8 hours and have 5 hours left in the audiobook. But I got about 6.5 hours in, and the horrible thing that happens in the book happened, and I was like, I just need a break from this today. Like, I've listened to the whole thing today. I'm almost exactly 50% of the way through the book, and so I was like, I'm going to take a break. And the next book I'm reading is The Beloved by J.R. Ward, part of the Black Tiger Brotherhood series, and that is one of my comfort series. So I was like, okay, I'm jumping over to the Black Tiger Brotherhood. I'm going to read the rest of my pages in that book, which ultimately I think I did the math on it, and it should have only been 100 pages that I had left to read in the Black Tiger Brotherhood, because it was roughly an hour more of audio that I had to go for Beartown. So I made up for it in Black Tiger Brotherhood. The Beloved. I need to call it its name. So anyway, I got in my 300 pages of reading. I just did it between those two books because I just needed a break from Beartown. So tomorrow, my plan is to read the rest of Beartown and then read whatever I need to read of The Beloved to get me to my 300 pages total for tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like and where I end up. But I don't anticipate it being an issue because it shouldn't be that hard for me to do both books. I am going to give myself the option to only read 25% of Beartown tomorrow instead of the whole 50 that I have left, and then read The Beloved, and then the next day finish Beartown and read, whatever I need to read at that point. So, because it is very heavy, and reading it all in 2 days is a little bit, I don't know, just doesn't make my brain feel good, doesn't make my heart feel good. So that might be what I do, but we'll find out. So 50% of it today, and then the rest was The Beloved, which is nice. We're kind of going back. If you guys have read the series, we are 30 years in the future now, and Wrath and Beth's son from the very first book, they were the first couple, he is 34 years old at this point. And so all their kids, at least the kids that were born in what we saw, they're grown. We have, this book specifically is about Zeta's daughter, Nala. And so it's really weird to see things from her point of view, but also get his point of view at some times too. So that is where it is right now and what is going on. And I'm enjoying it. I'm also really liking Gate to Kagoshima. I think this is really good as well. I'm anxious to see how it's going to turn out. We don't have very much left in the book, and I'm not feeling any kind of resolution happening right now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in that one, but it's enjoyable, at least for now. So that's everything. That's all planned for tomorrow. I will check in with y'all at some point tomorrow and let you know how it's gone and what the plans are for continuing. But otherwise, things are still going well, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay, everybody, it is Monday night. I don't know if y'all know how much I love a Monday, but if you didn't know, I love Mondays. They're my favorite day. Maybe Saturday is my favorite day of the week, but maybe Friday is my favorite day of the week. But Monday is very close to my favorite day. Maybe it's my favorite day of the work week. Anyway, I finished 2 books today, y'all. I finished Beartown and I finished Gate to Kagoshima. Yes, I said that I was going to stretch out Beartown a little bit, but then my brain was like, we're not living in Beartown for another day. So finish it now. And I did. And I'm going to give it 3 stars. I shared a bunch more thoughts about it with my members, and I will talk about it more when I do my wrap up. But it was okay. It was really well written. And if you like realistic fiction and you can handle tough subjects, specifically on-page rape, read this book. If that is not something that appeals to you, do not read this book. Anyway, I finished Beartown. I finished Gate to Kagoshima. Gate to Kagoshima, I wasn't supposed to finish yet. Look over here. Let me show y'all. Today, I was supposed to finish Beartown, but then I decided I would push it to tomorrow, but I finished it anyway, so let me take it off of here. Okay, I was supposed to finish Beartown, get to page 137 in Beloved, and get to page 258 in Gate to Kagoshima. I finished Gate to Kagoshima, so let me mark that as finished. I am on page 200 and something in the Beloved, but I'm not changing that because tomorrow I have to get to page 324. So I'm just going to keep it where it is, just knowing that I don't have as much to read tomorrow. And I guess I do have to get further than 324. Yeah, because I was supposed to finish Beartown and only get to page 24 in Beloved today. But because I was only going to read 75% of Beartown, but I finished it. So I read more of the Beloved. Anyway, you'll just have to trust me that tomorrow I will be finishing Beloved. So I will get to page 432 tomorrow, and that's it. I won't start Red Herring Without Mustard until Wednesday. And then I already finished today the Gate to Kagoshima. So here is my plan. Because I'm worried about the devil, I need to read 64 pages a day. And Sympathy for the Devil, I looked at it today. Page 37 is the middle. There don't appear to be chapters in here. It'll be like the end of this section, this section, and then it'll just have somebody's name at the top to start the next one. So they're not chapters, and they're parts, apparently. There's part 2. So all of that to say, I'm going to read to page 37 in this tomorrow, and then I'm going to switch over to Witch Hat, and I'm going to read the last 30 pages in here. So my last 30 pages of the day, which is the first 30 pages of this book, and that's how I'm going to read this Sympathy for the Devil, is every day I'm going to read 35-ish pages, and then I'm going to read 30 pages of this book. And that way I'll get in my 64 pages that I need to read, but I'm not having to read all of it in Sympathy for the Devil. So I hope that makes sense because that's my plan. So in Sympathy for the Devil, I'm reading 37 pages, and then I'm just going to call it Witch Hat. I'm going to read 30 pages, and that'll be 67 pages total tomorrow in my physical book. And then it'll be a little over 300 in my audiobook, which is totally fine. So I have finished Beartown and Gate to Kagoshima. So I can take the colors off of both of them and strike them through. So we are moving on to the Beloved and Sympathy for the Devil and Witch Hat, which is all the way at the bottom. So I need to go through, I'm probably going to do it tomorrow, actually go through and enter Beartown and Gate to Kagoshima in my all of the things. I've got them over here, Battle of the Bands and Aurelium Academy. And then I have them written in my book, like where it says, where I have the picture at the top, it says BOTB and OR for Battle of the Bands and Aurelium. And so I know what goes with which ones. I even already have the Beloved on here as well. So tomorrow I will put the sticker down for Sympathy for the Devil, and that will be started tomorrow. So things are going really well. I got a little bit frustrated with Beartown because I felt it was so heavy that I just didn't feel good reading it. I didn't want to be reading it. I wanted to be doing other things. So I I finished it. Like I made myself finish it so that I didn't have that hanging over me, but it's done. Gate to Kagoshima, I'm reading it, or I read it for her kid because it was one of my lowest rated and I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it 4 stars, maybe somewhere between 3.5 and 4, but I think I'm going to go with 4. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was really good. I liked the way it wrapped up. I liked the history elements of it. Whether or not those are true, I don't know. I know next to nothing about Japanese history. This is set in the 1870s in the Satsuma region of Japan, and the woman that wrote it lives in Japan. I don't think she's Japanese. Not the way it was written, like the bio part at the end where she was talking about where she got the idea and all the research and everything that she did into it. She's lived in Japan for a really long time, she says. But anyway, that's what made me think that maybe she wasn't Japanese, but I don't know, maybe she is. But the book is set in Japan, which is what matters for my little thing. So what I didn't realize was that Beartown is set in Sweden and Gate to Kagoshima is set in Japan. So I'm going to add 2 more countries to my map that I get to look at that we get to look at every month. So I think that's everything that I wanted to update y'all about tonight. My reading is officially done. It's 8:30 at night. I'm going to watch some YouTube and then I will be reading The Beloved. I want to read Sympathy for the Devil. At least like 5 pages tonight will make me feel better because I have a very busy morning tomorrow and then I have a lot of work to do when I get home. So as much of that as I can get done tonight will really help me out for tomorrow. So that's it. Those are my plans. And I will just talk to y'all tomorrow. Okay, it is 7:27 p.m. and I am finished. I just went over and updated everything over there, and this is not the right thing we're supposed to be looking at. This is it right here. I finished The Beloved. I did not enter it. Wait, did I? Let me look over here. This will tell me. Yes, I did. I already entered it on here and I entered it over here. So I have attacked Jake twice, Nala 3 times, and Ian 1 time. And then I have finished 1 book for my own team. Now I am reading Sympathy for the Devil, which is right here, and then Witch Hat, which is not on this one, and A Red Herring Without Mustard. So I'm reading that. Red Herring is over here that I'm reading for Godseer. And then Witch Hat is right here and not the other one. So I've got Sympathy for the Devil over here, not over here. But anyway, let me tell you what's happening. I need to read 63-ish pages on physically. So I read 45 in this book until I kind of started falling asleep and I was like, that's fine. 45 is more than I was expecting. And so I just read the last 20 in Witch Hat. So far over here, this book, it's a tiny bit confusing. I was very confused when I first started reading it because I had forgotten the synopsis. I flipped it over. I read the synopsis. I'm like, okay, I kind of get where we are. In the back, it says that, let's see, the very top line says he becomes the lead suspect and the target of $100 million hit. That has just happened where we are 45 pages into the book. But the good thing about the way this book is written is like, so the sections are so short. They're not chapters, but like you can see that page ends right there. And then the next page has a break in the middle when we switch people. And then this page is normal. But then this last page literally just has 1 word at the top of it, which is a bad word. So I'm not it's an inappropriate word to put on YouTube. So I'm not going to zoom in on it. But that's how this is. There's also some pages that are like poetry and stuff at the beginning of sections. So this one is confusing also because it feels like it's written as a contemporary book, but then they make references to the underworld that has werewolves and vampires. And I'm like, what world are we living in right now? He started out living in China. I'm totally counting that this book was set in China because it was at the beginning. And I don't know where it's going to go now. Right now they're in Las Vegas. He's taking over his dad's company, but I counted it as China. He was living in China. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that book. I'll update as I get there. I'm 20 pages into this book, and this little girl's name is Coco, and she would like to be a witch, but she knows that you have to be born a witch. Like, you can't learn to be a witch. At least that's what she thinks. And she lives in this very small town in a very cool carriage being pulled by Pegasus horses. Pegasi, I don't know, 2 of them have just landed and she's very excited about it. And that's as far as I've gotten in this book. But I have done my 65 pages physically and I finished The Beloved. Y'all, The Beloved. I gave it 4 stars because I am back in the world with the people that I love. This is not one of the side quests or whatever that we were on. This is back with the brothers, specifically the brother Zadist. It's his daughter Nala. It's her story of falling in love. And I was not sure how I felt about it at the beginning because Nala is not, like, she's not how I wanted her to be. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we also just get to see all the second generation of all of the children from the original brothers and the original books and all those things. So it's really nice. It's 34 years after the last book that we read, which was Lassiter. So after Lassiter's book, this is 34 years later. And we just did a big time jump, as did somebody else that I can't tell you about because it would be a spoiler. So that is what happened with that one. And I loved it. And that's it. I'm reading these 2 books. I'm going to start A Red Herring Without Mustard probably later tonight. Just to get a little bit of a jump start on it, I need to read 300 pages of it by tomorrow. And then, I put over here that I was only going to read 37. I read 45, and then I read 20 over here. So my plan tomorrow is 45 and 45 is 90. So I'm going to try to get to page 90. And that means that I only need to be on page 40. I said 400. I only need to be on page 40 of Witch Hat, but I need to be on page 300 of Mustard, and there's only 416 pages. So I'm going to get 3/4 of the way through that book. I'm probably just going to read till I'm at around 75% of it tomorrow, and then I'll know that I'm close to where I need to be. And then that's it. Sympathy for the Devil and A Red Herring Without Mustard are my focuses for tomorrow. And today went really well, and now it's over. I'm going to change the colors, and I'm going to pick my green for tomorrow. And that's it. I will check back in with y'all tomorrow. This week is going really well. And we'll see what's going to happen. Saturday's going to be hard. I'm working all day Saturday at the library, and there's a library program. So it's going to be a very busy day at the library. So we'll see what happens. But Thursday and Friday, I'm off. So hopefully I can maybe get ahead or get some other stuff done to save me from having to do things on Saturday outside of work at the library. So that's it. I'll check back in a little bit. Okay, the end of another day. It is Wednesday night. And as you can see on here, I only read Sympathy for the Devil because I ended up reading all 60 pages in here. And then I went ahead and marked the next set of 65 pages, 64 pages, something like that. Actually, it's almost 70 because today, instead of reading 64, I read 60. So I'm making up for it tomorrow. If I don't finish that, then I will pick up Witch Hat for however many pages I don't finish in this, I will read in this. But today, I got them all done, so I didn't need to read any Witch Hat. Now, my Mustard, A Herring Without Mustard. I'm not quite finished, but I am about to go upstairs and read, and I have about 10% left, maybe about 12% left to put me at 75% of this book. And so that means that tomorrow I will read 116 pages of this, and then I'll read 184 pages of The Spell Shop. But when I finish this Red Herring Without Mustard book, I don't have another book that's over 400 pages. So the rest of the month, I'm going to be reading 300 pages or less books. So I am very happy that I started with my longest books and I'm making my way down the list. It just makes me very happy. So I am going to be reading The Spell Shop, starting it tomorrow, and reading, like I said, 180 something pages of that. But today's is almost done. I don't know if I should mark it as done because I'm going upstairs, but it's just 10 o'clock. I still have a couple hours to read before it's technically tomorrow. So what I'm just going to say is that tomorrow I'm going to finish Mustard. And then for the Devil, I'm going to be, what page do I have marked to end on? 180. So I'm reading about 75 pages, but there's a couple of like blank pages. Oh, it's technically $179. So that's where I'm going to be in The Devil. Y'all, I do not like the Sympathy for the Devil book. I'm only reading it because I have to. It is confusing and almost feels like we're reading somebody's like fever dream that is just incredibly violent. And yeah, I'll tell you about it when I finish it, like the whole storyline, but I would not be reading it if I didn't have to. I need to read it for my local author and her kid, and I need to read it for the readathons. So I'm going to do that, but only because of that. Okay, and then I'm going to start The Spell Shop, which I'm excited about, and 184 pages, which is going to be about 50% of the way through the book. So I will work on that tomorrow. I need to add it to my, let me get my little picture out of The Spell Shop. So cute. And I'm going to be reading that tomorrow. So I'm going to put it in my planner. And then let me look right over here. And do I have The Spell Shop here? No, not for any of my girls. A red herring with mustard, without mustard is. So I will do that one when I finish. And then The Spell Shop over here is not here. Yes, it is. Okay, at the top, book number 4. So it is for Battle of the Bands. So let me write that down right here. I like having it in my planner. So when I finish something, I can go, okay, I need to enter that here or here or here, wherever. So that is good to go then. And that is the update for tonight. This is what my board looks like. I'm covering up the new stuff. This is just set in England, which I need to come over here and put. All right. And then this witch hat, I don't think it's set anywhere. This one so far has been set in China and in Las Vegas. So I think I'm going to count it for both because we're having flashbacks as well. We're Nevada. Okay, so I'm putting China and Nevada. I said the other day when I was talking to y'all, actually it's in this video, or maybe it was in last week's video. Anyway, I said that I was not going to put multiple locations for one book, but I am now. So yeah, all right. That's everything then that I need to do. I will move The Spell Shop over here tomorrow when I officially start it. But for now, that looks like everything. It's still going the way it should be. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind today on the red herring and where I should be, but I like the book. So it's not like I don't want to read it. It's just that I was busy today with work and everything else. And I was also trying to catch up on some YouTube stuff, like watching YouTube videos. So I just didn't do as much reading this afternoon as I usually do, but I am going to get on that tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, which is like a normal checkup, not anything wrong. But then I have my workout, and then the rest of the day is spent here doing this until I have date night tomorrow night. So hopefully I can get everything read halfway through The Spell Shop when I check in with y'all tomorrow night. And I'm just going to take this with me for most of what I'm doing tomorrow so I can read it while I'm like out and about. And hopefully I'll be able to get that done. But I'll see y'all in a little bit. Well, in a minute when I check in. Okay, I'm going to update y'all while I'm looking at this page because I'm just going to say I read 3 pages in this today. And I read 6% of The Spell Shop today, which I'm supposed to be about 50% of the way through. And that's where I am, where this first little bookmark is. And I'm supposed to be where the white bookmark is. So I'm supposed to be on page, I'm on page 23. I'm supposed to be on page 188. So let's just say I didn't get it done today. And I'm not fixing to sit here and do the math and figure out all the things. What I am going to do, it's 10:05 at night. I'm about to go upstairs. I'm going to listen to The Spell Shop until I fall asleep. I'm going to be sprinting tomorrow around here doing a bunch of stuff that I need to get done because I'm off from the library tomorrow, but I have to work all day Saturday. So I need to get as much stuff done as I can tomorrow. But what I got sidetracked doing was watching YouTube videos and going through and listing every series that I have ever read, at least book one in. And I'm at 186 series right now, and I don't know how far down my list. It looks like I'm almost at the bottom of my list on Goodreads that I'm using. So I really want to stay up and finish it, but I also know that if I don't go to sleep, I'm never going to go to sleep. Also, in December of 2023, said that I read God Killer, the first book by Hannah Kaner. I've been wanting to read that book forever and had no idea that I had already read it. So I'm going to put it on my list, but that's not the first time that this has happened as I've been looking through here. I have discovered quite a few books that, let me add that right now, Fallen Gods, that's the name of the series, and it's Hannah Kaner. I'm going to pronounce it Kaner. It's probably like Connor or something. Anyway, so I'm going through this list. If I have finished the series completely, and I know I have, and I won't read anything else by that author, then I'm not going to put it on here. However, like this one, this is 7 Brides for 7 Alien Brothers. I have finished this whole series. But I want to make sure I find out what else Honey Phillips has written and put her stuff on the list. So if it's a series that I have finished from an author that I don't automatically read from, like I put Stephen Graham, maybe I did put the Indian Lake trilogy on here by Stephen Graham Jones, but I know I'm finished that trilogy number 1, and I'm going to read the rest of his books that come out. So I don't need his name on this list to be like, hey, don't forget that Stephen Graham Jones exists. Like, I'm not going to forget. So there are things like that I am putting on here. And then there are other things that I am putting on here because I've only read a few books in the series, or one book in the series, or in the case of God Killer, Goodreads says I've read it. My brain says I have not. So I don't know who's going to win that. But either way, I'm making a list. And I'm so close to being done. Like, I'm so close to being done. I'm just going to scroll right now and see how much I have left to do, and I might stay up and finish doing it before I go upstairs. But all of that to say, I did not accomplish my goal today. I'm not even going to look at my thing over there for what I was supposed to do. I did finish a red herring without mustard. I finished that today, and I went ahead and entered it in the Aurelium thing. And then tomorrow, I am going to finish. I don't think I'm supposed to finish Sympathy for the Devil, but anyway, I'm going to get caught up tomorrow and do a lot of reading tomorrow. And then hopefully Saturday, there is a section of Saturday that's going to be really busy at the library, but then hopefully the rest of Saturday will be real calm and relaxed and all that. We'll see, but that's what I'm hoping happens. Anyway, I'm going to scroll and see what I can find. I'll update y'all tomorrow. Today has just been a day. It has been a day. So I just lifted my arm and that hurt because I got a pneumonia vaccine today. I didn't even know that was a thing. My doctor said, have you gotten your pneumonia vaccine? I said, I did not know that was a thing that existed. And he said, yeah, and you are due for one. And I was like, well, I will go get it then. So I did, and now my arm is sore, and I'm being a big baby about it and complaining. But anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow when I have had some sleep, hopefully. Okay, it was nice to take the day off yesterday, apparently, because today it's 8:38 and I am all done and caught up with everything, which I'm supposed to be on page 179 in The Devil, and I'm on page 183. So I actually went a little further, which reminds me, I do need to update things over here. 183. And then the spell shop, I stopped at 183, which, wait a minute, does that mean I'm on the same page in both books? Yes, I am. But just now, when I was getting my lunch ready for tomorrow and all the rest of it, I read one more chapter. So I'm actually now on page 191 of the spell shop. Okay. And I'm definitely going to read some more of that tonight. I'm supposed to finish this tomorrow, and we'll look and see what that means as far as pages go. I need to update over here because for right now, I'm updating both Goodreads and Storygraph, although I've been looking around. Oh my gosh, I hate it when I click the ads because it wants to jump forward all of a sudden. Okay, and right here, I'm at 183. I haven't read any more Witch Hat because I haven't needed to recently. Anyway, Sympathy for the Devil. I'm telling you right now, I'm not really going to give you a synopsis or review of this book. I'm just trying to make it through. It's not my kind of book. It's a very war-centered book. And I don't like that we're jumping around in time, like we were in the present, then we went to the past. And I think we're still in the past. Maybe we've just caught back up. I don't know where we are because I just got to a new section. Oh, 2014. No, we're in the past still because the book takes place in 2019. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, 2014. So maybe we're back. We are back. Okay, the book starts in September of 2014, and now we're in October of 2014. So I've come back to the present time. Anyway, do not enjoy, but I am finishing it. There's too many things that I have it on my list to finish, so I'm finishing it. But if I read 64 pages, I'll be like almost done with the book. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish it tomorrow. That is my whole plan for physical reading, is to finish Sympathy for the Devil. I'm going to be at work most of the day, and it is going to be a very busy day. So I do not anticipate getting to read it at work, but I will take it just in case. Because if things get really slow at the end of the night, I can sometimes read probably the last 30 minutes as I'm just waiting on any customers that needs to come in. That's really it. So I won't get to read much, but maybe I'll get to read some. Okay, and then the spell shop. I'm on page 191, and over here it has 374. And if I'm going to read 300 pages, wait, this is done. So I'm just going to make this color. And then this, what we're going to work on tomorrow is for the devil, I'm just going to finish it. And we're not going to start anything else. And then for the spell shop, I'm going to finish it. And then I have to do math. So I'm reading, oh wait, no, there is 374 pages total. And I'm on 191. So that's 183 that I'm going to read. But my total is 300. So that's a difference of 117. So in an absolutely remarkable thing, I need to be, I'm just going to call it remarkable. I need to be on page 117 tomorrow. Also, for those of you who know that I got this idea slash plan of reading things like this from Lizzie at Lizzie's Literary Life. So I just had a new video come out where she didn't just have it. I just watched it because I'm behind. I think it came out on like April 3rd or 4th. Anyway, I just watched it yesterday because I'm behind. And she does it a little bit differently. And so in the future, when I try something like this, I think I'm going to try to do it this way. Like try to do something similar to what she's doing, the way she's been doing it. And not the way I tried to do it, because I just wasn't quite understanding the way she did it. But I loved how she split up the audio and the page numbers for the physical books and all the things. So anyway, that is my plan. I'm going to finish the spell shop and Sympathy for the Devil tomorrow, and then get a little over a third of the way through An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which I am excited about it. I don't know why I called it Things, but it's an absolutely remarkable thing. So that is what is happening tomorrow on Saturday. And then we'll be ready for the next week. But that way tomorrow I can finish the devil and spell shop and finish out this vlog. And then Sunday, the next start of the next vlog, we'll kick off Remarkable and talk about that. So I think that is what the plan will be, unless, am I going to finish Remarkable? Oh, maybe I'll wait till Sunday and end it when I finish reading An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. We'll see. The next book I'm reading is River of Thieves, and I have it on ebook, and Ryan I have on ebook. So that'll be nice. We're done with physical books and we're moving to the ebooks. I do like having this book. Physically, this is the spell shop, but I've been reading it kind of back and forth with my ears and with my eyes. So anyway, we'll see what happens I'm really, really liking it. It's very cute. It is a wonderful, cozy fantasy so far. I really like it. So, yeah. Also, if you're watching this, I guess you know already. Do you know already? Let me look at my schedule. Oh, you don't know already, but I have a thing up here because I'm doing a thing now. So that'll be coming in a week or so from where you are right now, from when this comes out. So I'm working on that. But anyway, I'm going to go work on that a little bit more. And then I'm going to read The Spell Shop. I do still have a lot of stuff that I need to accomplish tonight, and it's 8:45. So I think what that means is that I gave myself too many things to try to do today, and they cannot be done. So I got a lot of sleep last night, so I would like to do that again tonight. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go not do work, but I'm going to read and play around with the r/fantasy board. And that sounds like a great night to me. And I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Okay, hello. It is Saturday night. I have finished Sympathy for the Devil. I am going to give it 2 stars, and that is all the time that I'm spending discussing it. Ridiculous. Okay. Then, I don't think I said this, but I finished The Spell Shop this morning. I know I didn't say it because I have not updated you before now. Okay, I wanted to get the dust jacket for it. I have finished The Spell Shop. I finished it this morning. It was so incredibly cute. So cute. And going into it, there is a spider plant that is sentient and talks and stuff, but you don't know that there might be others, and I love it so much. So anything else that is written in this world, I want her to write something else in this world. So anything else that's written in this world, I will be reading. I loved it. It's adorable. I loved it. 4.5 stars. Okay. Now I am reading an absolutely remarkable thing. What? Yes, an absolutely remarkable thing is what I am reading right now, and it's really good as well. I really enjoy it, and I'm going to be starting tomorrow, River of Thieves. So let me get my stuff done here. For Remarkable, I'm going to finish it tomorrow. Then Thieves, if I can spell it correctly, I'm going to get to page 64. Then, what else am I starting? Oh, The Maid's Secret, a brand new book. We're going to call it Secret. And I'm not sure what page I have to get to yet. I have to do math to figure that out. But Remarkable has 343 pages, and I'm on page 117. So that is 226 pages, which means 74 pages of The Maid's Secret I need to read tomorrow. Okay, and I've pre-ordered it. My pre-order has already been delivered to me on Audible, so I know it's ready to go. A Remarkable thing is on Libby. I've already checked it out. I mean, I'm reading it from the library, so it's ready to go. And that is all of that. Now, let me change the color, make it the green that I like. That works. Okay. The other thing I need to do is enter them over here. So I put it on here. Sympathy for the Devil is for Battle of the Bands, which is where we are right now. So I need to go over here, and Battle of the Bands, The Spell Shop is as well. Okay, The Spell Shop and Sympathy for the Devil. So Sympathy for the Devil is an attack on Team Jake, and that is number 10. So let me go here. I will fill this out. It's going to be prompt number 10, a book written in first person. Yes, it was. It wasn't a great book, but it was a book written in first person. And this is going to remove points from Team Jake, and I am on Team Nico. And I will submit and do another one. And this one is for Spell Shop, which is prompt number 4 and an attack on Team Ian. Team Nico, I read The Spell Shop. Prompt number 4, a book chosen for you based on the scavenger hunt. That's right. It was so great. Okay, remove points from Team Ian and submit. Yay, fantastic. Okay, so that's both of those that are done. Let me double check over here. Make sure everything's been marked off. Yes. Look at all the stuff for my team that I haven't read yet. An absolutely remarkable thing is up here. Okay, I started it today, but I didn't write down that it was Battle of the Bands. So it's Battle of the Bands. And then let me mark off the spell shop was only Battle of the Bands. Oh, and so was Sympathy for the Devil. So I don't have one for Aurelium, but let me see if... Yep, an absolutely remarkable thing is also Aurelium. So nice. Okay, and then the Thieves one is not over here because I need to put that in for tomorrow. Okay, River of Thieves. I do not see it over here, so it must be over here. Why am I reading it if it's not on either one of these things? Okay, let me go back and look. Okay, it's not over here either. Why do I have River of Thieves? Oh, River. It's one of these. No, it's not. I did read this, though, for April, so this can go over here. But what? Okay, let me go. River of Thieves is right here. So this was what, then? River of Thieves. Aeldia books. Oh, this one. I'm blocking it, but this journey through Aeldia, right? Let me go back to it and let me zoom in. Okay, yeah, up here at the top. I didn't write it on here. I mean, I didn't put it on here. I put it on my other one, but yes. Okay, so River of Thieves is not even, like, it doesn't even count for one of these. Okay, so I'm not sure why I'm reading it right now. I mean, honestly, I'm not. It could just be moved to the last thing that I read. Okay, I mean, I do need to read it in April, but I just don't want to do it first. So I'm not. I'm going to read Rian or Ryan. I don't know how you say it. Hopefully it'll explain to me how you pronounce it. So I'm going to read that one next. But that means that I'm done entering whatever I need to enter. And instead of Thieves tomorrow, I'm going to call him Ryan, I guess, until I find out differently. But, okay, that's great. So tomorrow I start The Maid's Secret and Ryan. All right, great. So I have everything else in my little containers over here where I keep all my sticker things. And I think that's all. Tomorrow, I'm going to finish An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, and I will come in here and close out the vlog and tell y'all about it. I am really liking it so far. I'm 34 to 35% of the way through with it, and I really enjoy it right now. It's really good. So I'm probably going to get a jump start tonight on Ryan. I'm reading it on my Kindle. Let me look. It's 334 pages. I mean, technically, I'm supposed to read it next anyway, if it is... if I'm going biggest to smallest, because it's longer than River of Thieves. But I will do River of Thieves after I finish Ryan. After I finish Witch Hat, actually. So, yeah, that's going to do it, though, for my check-in. Everything looks good, and I'm excited. I need to get a remarkable thing over here. And I guess since this whole thing started in New York and that is where she lives, then I'm going to put that it's in New York, although they've already been to California. But right now we've only been in New York and California, but that's okay. That's where I'm going to leave it as being set. And that's it for now. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay, I forgot that yesterday when I finished the spell shop, I didn't add it to the TBR trail, so now it's in there. I have all 5 of my books have been added. I need to finish A Killer's Code, and then that one will get added. Hopefully I finish it by the 24th, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep going with my schedule like it is. Speaking of my schedule, I am done with An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. This was my first Hank Green book. I think it was Hank Green's first book as well. Anyway, so good. And I could see Hank all over this book. Like, his authorial voice sounds so much like his own voice. It's fantastic. I loved the story. It was a great sci-fi book. And at the same time, everything just felt so Hank. All the discussions, all of the sciencey things, like It was just Hank Green. Anyway, it's about a girl whose name is April May. Like, isn't that so funny? Her last name's May, her first name's April. And she is walking home one night and she sees a giant thing that looks like a really tall robot looking thing. And she walks over to it and she's like, wow, that's weird looking. And she thinks it's an art installation. So she calls up her best friend and she's like, hey, bring your camera and come down here. Let's make a video of this art thing that just popped up in the middle of New York City. And so he comes down and she's like, hey, here's this thing. And she decides to name it Carl. She's like, Carl the robot is here. And so what they find out is it's not an art installation and no one knows what it is. And there are 64 of them across the whole world. So this is just the story of April accidentally becoming famous because she found the first Carl. So anyway, so good. And like I said, just the perfect Hank Green book. Okay. So I am going to be reading The Maid's Secret, but that is going to happen in the next vlog. Also, if you were wondering, I was going to read Ryan, R-I-O-N. I went and looked, and the only way for me to get that book was to buy it on the Kindle. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went in and looked to see why I was reading it, and I was not reading it. It's not anywhere on my TBR here, it's not on any of these TBR games that I played. So I picked it specifically for this right here for Rift Architect Astronomy class because it had to be a color, and I got purple. So I am changing it out and reading Pet because I need to read Pet anyway for her kid, and it's purple. So that's what I'm going for. Now that I have finished An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, I think it counts for both, or maybe just Aurelium. Let me look. No, it's both Battle with the Bands and Aurelium. So I'm going to go over and enter that. And then I'm going to start reading The Maid's Secret and Witch Hat. So now Witch Hat is the last physical book that I need to read for my TBR. River of Thieves is on my TBR for April, but it doesn't have to get read. I mean, technically it does for Eldia, the year in Eldia, but it doesn't have to get read for any of these things. So I'm going to mark it off on here after I have entered it, and that's it. I am going to be kicking off the new vlog either later tonight or tomorrow talking about The Maid's Secret and Witch Hat Atelier. That is the one I'm going to be continuing. I read 20 pages earlier in the week, and so I'm going to be finishing that one up in just a couple of days, and then I will start on River of Thieves. But my physical reads that I was so worried about are about to be done. I do have to find 3 hours of audio somewhere to read Pet, but that is going to be very simple to do. So that's not a big deal. Easily at some point this month, I can find 3 hours to finish reading Pet or to read Pet. It's 6 hours on audio. So that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this week. And kind of going through, I've been going through a lot of weirdness around this thing. And I think I'm going to talk about that in the next one, specifically just about what my thoughts are on having my month so incredibly scheduled. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in the next one. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.